Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network. Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Izugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. We're back in the studio today.
At our regular spot.
Yes, with our,
It doesn't like us anymore.
It doesn't like us anymore. I don't even know.
I don't know why.
There it is. It undoes itself every once in a while.
Anymore.
Because normal things. We're just trying to get ourselves together
Is Mercury in
here.
retrograde again? Or
I was
what's
just
happening?
thinking the same thing.
I know.
I don't know.
I've been feeling like there's something going on.
All the planets say, take responsibility. Stop blaming us. What?
No, it's a thing. Mercury is for sure. I know it.
You know it?
I know when that's happening. It's messes
There
me
you
up.
go. So we are here back in the studio at 7220 North 16th Street,
Yes.
Building A1. You'll know us because we're on the door. It's Phoenix, and we're north of Glendale, south of Northern, on the west side. You will see us,
You
right?
will. Yes,
And
we're
we're
the
the-
home of Reverend Dr. Michelle
Thank you.
Whittington's practice and her classes and kind of where she does her thing. So it's great energy in here. And,
Absolutely.
and she's running the best year yet right now. She's got some other groups that she has going on. P3 starts soon. So I highly recommend that you go to that website, unleashyourlife.us, and find out about what she has going on to further your spiritual growth and just your life. You know, our whole goal is to help us and you create a life you love. More of that. And so what she does definitely does that.
Absolutely. And it's a more intensified situation where you are having the experience. So I'm just checking here, Drew. Did we go on?
It says we are live.
Okay, there we are. I had
Yes.
to
It
refresh.
lags on
I'm sorry, I had to refresh. It's not your fault. It's operator error.
No.
Okay.
It's checking because we have had issues. So
We have,
double,
so
triple
I
check now.
always double check.
But I wanted to let you all know that if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we were in Kansas City.
Yes.
And we had a wonderful time. And at one moment, we did a skit for the talent show where we played each other. And that is now on the Facebook group, Sofa Sundays Facebook group. You'll see it. It says Anton Talent Show.
And we are the first ones,
up,
so you
yeah.
don't have to sit through other people if you don't
All
want
they
to.
were all good though. Such
Yeah,
good
they are. It
music, poetry reads, like such
It-
good stuff.
It really was. So, yeah.
So I highly recommend it. As soon as that's ready, Drew, I'd love to have that.
I'll have to do
You're
it.
gonna have to do. Well, then
Yeah.
I will talk for a moment.
Okay, try it. I'll be back.
All right. Well, so something is weird with our technology today. So I do think that it is Mercury. I'm just gonna say,
Right.
or somebody, one of those big celestial bodies is doing something up
Do
there.
we have that extra moon now? Is that happening now?
Oh, yeah, remember that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's that I unplugged this, but it should stay in. Yeah,
That's
see?
the other. Test.
Hey, True.
Yeah, well, it takes a minute. It does take
this
a
in.
minute
Plug
for
this in.
that.
All right,
It's
well,
so
I've got
blinky.
True. Thank you.
All
Now
of
it
this
should
is
work.
happening.
There we go. This should stay in now because we replugged it in.
Oh.
The battery on it obviously doesn't work. Oh, no, it's still not.
Test. I had it plugged in. I've been playing
Yeah.
music all morning.
It's not gonna work today, boys and girls.
I don't know that these will either.
All right, well, we're just
Hey!
gonna have to be
Well, you
loud
know what?
for the
We
people
are-
in the back.
We will have to be.
Hopefully you can all hear us. If you're on the live feed, please let us know that you can hear us. We're gonna just
Yes.
cross our fingers and move forward.
And then we'll just ask anybody that is sharing that they also speak loudly.
We'll be able to hear you just fine.
Yeah, I'm never an issue. Test.
What?
Oh, look at that.
Trying to say it's me?
It's working.
I love that.
Good.
And I don't have to be.
All right. There we go.
All right, we figured it out eventually.
Eventually.
Eventually. All right.
The little feedback is too high.
So it's a little bit loud.
Turn it. He's new to that one. Just hit the negative button.
The minus sign. There
You
you go.
got it?
There you go.
Are we good? All right.
Wonderful.
All right. You want to,
Yes.
and I'll press it.
You wanna, yeah.
Yeah. So just releasing technology.
Oh, yes.
Everything that happened that brought us here to this moment, and really feeling supported and settled in our seats, knowing and affirming that the divine is all there is, that this is what is breathing us, this is what we're breathing, this is who we are. And in this knowing and affirming that there is only one heartbeat, one breath, one love. I speak my word for the highest and best for this time together, knowing and affirming that we are truly blessed, that each and every person here and those within the sound of our voice and beyond are blessed. And today I send out special blessings to our friends that aren't here, knowing and blessing their health, knowing and affirming that they are well, that health is revealed. I send blessings to leaders and teachers of all faiths everywhere, all counties, cities, states, countries, knowing and affirming that they too are divine. They too are led, guided, guarded, and protected. And that each and every person that is operating for the highest and best good. Knowing this and affirming this day and every day. And for this, I am so grateful. I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this now moment. I let this go. I call it good. And together we say,
And
so it is. There we go. So Sue, we're just sending you love and blessings.
So,
All right. So today we have our little, okay, so if you are here in the room, you have a little card and you have a little duck. And if you're somewhere that didn't get, who doesn't have a duck? All right, you don't have a duck? Get a duck. Get her a duck in the back. Do you have a duck? She don't have a duck either. Get some ducks out. So if you've never been to Sofa Sundays during a holiday, you might not have gotten a duck. But I go on cruises, okay? And when you go on a cruise, they have ducks. And they hide these ducks all around, right? You didn't know this? Okay. Yeah. So my daughter told me this is a thing. Oh yeah, this is like a thing. And they hide these ducks all around and you find the ducks. And so I came back from my first cruise 2 years ago and I had a duck. Now I decided that that was a thing I was going to do for all of you. So thanks for cruising with Sofa Sundays. And if you're a Jeep person, you have a duck. And so there's like plenty of reasons to have ducks. I just like ducks. And my shower has like one of those high shelves. And so now it's got like 20 ducks on it. It's great. So yes, it's just, we have Halloween ducks today. Anyhow, we also
I don't have a Halloween duck though.
Oh, tell your son.
I feel very left out right now.
Mom doesn't have
I
a
don't
duck.
have a Halloween
She needs a
duck.
duck. I know. Where'd you put him? Oh, you put him under there. You put him back. Get a duck. Get a duck. Ooh, you like that one? No?
No.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
See, this is what we're talking about.
these are terribly scary.
They're terribly scary ducks.
This is mine.
Oh, see, you got a ghost
Oh, I
duck.
want the ghost duck.
You
Oh, I want the doggy one.
Don't take ducks for
Oh,
children.
No, that's for the puppy.
For us.
One-eyed, two-horned, flying purple
People eater.
People eater.
This is-
There you go. Here we got a pumpkin duck.
And
Okay.
so the duck.
I have the same one. This is for the.
I have lost all control of celebration here. I don't even know. This is what happens. So your card today says, God is my invisible partner. Perfect. Perfect for Halloween. So our, because, it's like, it is.
I'm
It's,
kidding.
what do you mean, how do I figure? So this is page 59 in
Of your glorious book that it matches what Reverend Jeannie's wearing today, boys and girls.
It's New Thoughts for today. This is the affiliated New Thought Network first publication. We are on our second publication. Do I?
Yeah, you said you had it.
I said I had it? I probably do then. You were supposed to pick up one.
You said
And-
you got it from me already.
Did I? Did I? Okay. Let me get, I probably do have it in here. So anyway, we have,
I feel like we haven't been together for a long time.
right,
or
we were
something.
just,
That's all
this
weird.
is, yeah,
It's silly.
this is what happens when we don't talk during the week. We're just all kinds of, So let us begin.
Mhm.
Believing that God is the invisible partner in my life, I now affirm that divine love goes before me and prepares the way. Ernest Holmes, Prayer and Prosper. God is our invisible partner. How many times have we begun a journey of some kind and wondered how we can ever complete it? At least once. I knew I have wondered this very thing sometimes when I am about to embark on a new project or a dream that I want to accomplish. In these moments of uncertainty, anxiousness, or fear, I turn to my faith. I still remember my first practitioner when I found my way to religious science in the 1980s. Her name was Carol. Besides listening to our senior minister, Dr. Peggy Bassett, every Sunday morning, I learned from my other teacher, Carol, as well. She was an amazing practitioner who modeled our teachings with such love and grace. I remember talking with her one day about something that I was really nervous and anxious about. She told me, it's time to tell the butterflies in your tummy to get into formation because we are about to fly. Then she went to prayer about whatever the issue was that I was nervous about. She reminded me that God is my silent partner. The story reminds me that while the human part of me might be struggling, the divine within is guiding me in every moment. The divine is loving me and preparing the way so butterflies inside me can fly in perfect formation. Today, I am steeped in the knowing that God guides me along my path with ease, love, and grace. All unfolds in divine order and in divine timing. I am blessed. Thank you, God. Reverend Donna Barnier, Religious Science, Cypress, California.
Oh, Rev Donna again.
I love her.
Yes, this is just perfect reminder for me, but I would say probably every day, a really great reminder, because I have things that when I get stressed out, so I'm trying to put this in a little nutshell. So like I have projects and things that I work on or things that are on my heart to do that I want to do. Like everything that I do, I want to do it. But sometimes I get afraid or I feel like I'm not ready or it's not perfect or my hair isn't right or, it doesn't look good or whatever it is that I go, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I'll get back on there. Okay, I'll try again this day. Or now the whole week goes by and now I'll do it. And a lot of it is the fear or whatever that is holding me back, right? It's because I've forgotten who I am and that God is my invisible partner. So like when I was reading this, it was like, oh, this is for me. It wasn't for Anne today. Sorry, Anne.
It wasn't for Anne.
This reading was for me today. Well, I'm sure all of us, because I think it's so easy to forget that. It's so easy to forget in the stress and the worry or the fear or whatever. It's so easy to forget that we are not ever alone. We're never doing this by ourselves. We always have that part of us. And that's the part that keeps saying, no, you're supposed to do it. Let's go. Come on, let's go. That's that part. And then that other part of us, it's like, oh, has all the, and holds it back. So like, just let it go and see what happens. That's like talking to myself today.
So I had this experience yesterday we were trying to organize some stuff in the house. So I meant moving and cleaning and doing things. And the minute you start up a vacuum in a house with 5 cats scatter. And I had to go to my job for a brief period of time. So I was getting ready and Dakota says, have you seen Pumpkin? It's my youngest orange cat. And she's the love of my life. Oh, I love her so much. And we couldn't find her. And we had moved something outside. So like there was that automatic fear she got out of the house. Oh, and because we have 1,100 square feet and I searched every inch of it, you know what I mean? And like couldn't find her. And now we're calling her name and I'm crying.
Oh, Lord.
And exactly. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What do I know to do? Right. So like my favorite prayer when I lose something, even a cat, is nothing is ever lost in the universe.
True.
Right. So I was like, okay, what would God, and doing that whole thing because I can't find my baby kid. And I'm like trying to get in, because one of the things about affirmative prayer, it's not just words, right? It's about getting in alignment.
Yes. Right.
And it's not just about saying words, it's about being in alignment and being in that space with the divine inside. So that took a minute because I was in my, I lost my cat fear. I was spinning. Yeah. So had to get in the center and stuff. And so I'm doing that and I'm saying my prayer and I'm crying and so I get down and I look under the bed for the 10th time in 10 minutes. And there she is, face to face. And I'm like, you little stinker.
Now I'm mad.
I was like, you scared mommy. Like, did you not hear me calling your name?
She loved it. Are you kidding me? I love it.
But so that was one of those things. It's like, sometimes we forget. Yes. We forget that we're divine. We forget that everything is ours. We are one with instead of one apart. This part of us that says, I'm all alone. It's all up to me. I've got to do it.
Right.
So
and then turn up.
It's going to need to go up, Mom's saying.
It's just hot.
It's hot. The AC stopped too. Like we have to get that space of knowing that we are divine.
Right, exactly. True. So what I was asking you to do is turn it up one, not turn it, but turn it up one.
In the front.
The little dial
there. To that way. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Angle it back so it's backward, hitting both of us. Thank you. You getting that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
sorry, women of a certain age, we need our family.
That's so true. Yeah, and and I think this is silly. This is gonna be silly, but have you ever needed to get somewhere before they close to pick up something that you really needed, and then
because your teenagers told you I have a project due. Yeah.
And then the GPS says you're going to be there 5 minutes after, right? That just literally happened to me on Friday, where I left and I get on my GPS and it says 5:35 and they close at 5:30. And I thought, no, it's going to be fine. It's just fine. Let's play. Let's play and see how. And it's like, well, then no speeding though.
let's just see. So I drove and I got there and they were all still in there. And I got what I needed. It was so funny because I'm walking back out to my car going, that was fun. Like, so it's, that's like, like the whole way I was working on myself because I kept going, that's ridiculous. Like nothing's going to change the way this, like, stop it. Stop it. So many things could happen. Infinite possibilities could happen.
Absolutely.
You could be pulling up and they're walking out and they're just sweet. And they go, oh yeah, no problem. Let's go get that for you. Like, no, like there could be so many ways it could happen. Why, who cares? And if you get there and it's closed, it's closed. But at least you try. Let's just have fun. So I just kept working on my belief that, God already, it's already worked out already. And then and when I pulled up and I walked up and then the way the doors are, it looked like that they had pulled the one big door over it. But for whatever reason, I kept walking just to make sure. And nope, that door was still not covered. And then I pushed and it opened and I thought, oh, they forgot to lock it.
I just gonna sneak on in.
And I just kind of walked, but they were like all still up. They were all still doing their thing. They look up and go, oh, pick up. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh yeah. What's the name? I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get it.
That's awesome.
So it's like
It's not silly.
Yeah.
It's not, because I have had, and I remind myself of this. There was one time where Trey used to go. The parents would take turns and read on this every other, like whatever it was. You could go and read, and you'd sign up for the day that you were going to go and read one of their favorite books. And I was doing something in the house, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, oh my gosh, I think I'm supposed to be at the school right now. And I look and it was like, yep, it was my day. And I literally was in 5 minutes. I was on in 5 minutes. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. It's just impossible. And I thought, well, you're just going to have to go anyway, at least show up. I mean, maybe the teacher can rearrange something or whatever. And I'm telling you,
You time traveled?
I got there. And I hit every single, it was the strangest thing. I just let it go like, well, it's just going to be what it is. I'm just going to do the best I can. And I was driving and I hit every light and I was pulling into the school at exactly my time. I was 1 minute late because I walked, but I thought the whole way there, I thought, did I drive here? Like, how did I get here? Like technically it's a 10-15 minute drive. How did I get here in 5 minutes? It was such a weird, like surreal feeling. I knew. So when I was driving, I kept reminding myself, remember the time that you got there on the reading thing? You were there in 5 minutes and there's no way in the world that you could have been there in 5 minutes. Like, come on now, Michelle, time's not real. None of this is real. Like it's all of your beliefs. So I was working on myself the whole way there. And then when I got there at 5:35, when I walk in, I'm like, it's all this. It's going to be whatever I decide it's going to be. It's going to be whatever way I decide to look at it. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? I'm choosing it. Right?
Right.
One little, yeah. And like I had an issue with, there's some kids I've been working with and there was a little one that I have fallen in love with. I just fall in love with children anyway, but this particular one, he just breaks my heart because I just feel like he's not getting whatever it is I think he should be getting, right? So I was brokenhearted about it on Friday to the point where I was in tears about it. And then on Saturday, my sister called. And as soon as I saw her on there, I just started crying. I thought, oh, great. I'm already crying, like, because it was still hurting my heart. And as I was telling you earlier, as she and I were talking about it, I was explaining it to her. She was like consoling me and we were talking about the whole thing. And then all of a sudden she got a hit. My sister and her husband are both pastors out in Washington. And she got this hit. She goes, whoa, stop everything. I'm getting something for you on this. She goes, whoa, you're looking at it wrong. God's telling me you're looking at it wrong. I said, what do you mean? She goes, no, turn it around. She's like, it's a lot of us have diversity or things that are against us or things that we've had to overcome or whatever. And that makes our story. But there's always somebody along the way. She goes, how many times have you heard a story of somebody saying, well, when I was little, this one lady, she said to me XYZ, and then I knew I could do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, you may not be able to fix all this, Michelle, and it's not your job to do that. It's your job just to be there and give that light give that light and that love and be something else, some other awareness of how things are or that they're loved or whatever. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I was creating this whole narrative in my mind of what I thought I was seeing it as a negative thing. Like, I can't do anything about this. This is killing me. My heart hurts. I want to just grab this boy and bring him home. I just want to do that. And instead I'm like,
that's illegal, right?
I want to though. I'd want to. And if I brought him here, you would all go, oh yeah, let's keep him.
Unless you're me.
I know, right? So, but now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so why would I rob this young man of whatever this is for him? This is something that's for him. And I get to be part of this journey for this moment, whatever amount of time I get to be a part of it. So what if I just do whatever I'm called to do and let it be, and stop trying to rescue or save or keep him from whatever this is? And I want to cry now because it hurts me to think of any child not having this blissful, beautiful, whatever magical thing I want them all to have. But that's some of the most amazing human beings in this world have come from experiences that I can't even comprehend. You know, so I was really appreciative that my sister got that hit and shared it with me, because I was choosing to look at it this way, and not having the faith that I'm being placed here on purpose for whatever I may never know. But just do what you can, do your work, and trust it's all part of we're all the same.
Right.
We're all together in this whole thing.
So I loved what you had said about the belief system, both in the driving, that's a great one for that, and about, changing that perspective, shifting that
Reframing it, yeah.
perspective on that. It is that BS, in a belief system that changes how we see things always, right? So I'm a big one on the, if I'm not 10 minutes early, I'm already late type of person. So for me, that would be like, I would have so much anxiety. I would be like, but I have had that experience where I wake up and realize that, I've got to be somewhere, like wake up literally or figuratively. I've got to be someplace and decide I have to go then, and things work out, right? I don't run into, as long as I'm calm, right? Because that, like you said, doing our work is what changes the exterior experience, not just green lights, right?
I think it does do the green light.
I don't disagree.
Sure it does.
I said not just. Like, I don't disagree that it changes the lights. I absolutely believe that. But it also changes our experience and our acceptance level and appreciation level and receiving level, right? Am I open to receive a miracle in this? In my P3 class, Michelle Whittington calls it the big, hairy, audacious goal, right? And we changed it to miracle in real life.
Love it.
Right. So, because sometimes we don't expect a miracle because that's Old Testament. You know what I mean? Like, that's something we're like,
Or it has to be some huge thing.
Right. And, tiny miracles happen all the time. And so the appreciation and gratitude that comes with life in general when things work out, or if things don't, right? God bless my man Garth, right? Thank God for unanswered prayers.
Yes.
I love that song, because how many times had we wished something had happened and then it didn't, and then we see why.
Yes.
When we see the benefits to why that didn't happen. Recently had some experience in my life from my stepson from 20 years ago passed Monday. And, I have lived a lifetime since I was his mom, right? And, but when I first heard, my heart was just absolutely broken for this young man. And what I remembered was that time period, right? When he was a teenager and a young adult. He was 43 when he passed. So, definitely some time had passed there. And a friend of mine had said, it saddens me because I think if you were still his mom, because you're a minister, you could have made God keep him, And I said, he was always in my prayers, and and it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And so there was that moment where I thought, there are so many times we think the loss of someone is just the wrong thing, right? Because it's so hard on our hearts.
For sure.
It's so hard on our hearts when we lose someone we love. And I think how much love these people bring. Like last week, we were doing the celebration of life for Reverend John Halliburton, you know, and got to hear everybody speak about their experience and their love of being in his presence and how he affected their lives and stuff. And I think about that with this young man. You know, he made me a better mom. You know, being his mom at 30 years old, to be a mom of a 16-year-old is quite the experience, trust me. I didn't feel much older than 16 myself at the time. So, you know, learning from everybody, every experience we have. And his path was his path, right? God has no grandchildren, right? Everybody is the same part of the divine as you are, you know, so we are all one. We are all divine. There is nobody's eyes you look into that is not God.
That's right.
So their experience, for whatever reason, is that. And I try to remember that when my experience sucks. You know, like, it's not all great. It's not all sugar. You know, sometimes it's sour and yicky and bleh. And for whatever reason, because I look at it that way, you know, I experience it that, and I'm not saying, you know, I hate spiritual bypassing anything.
Right.
Like that is
Right.
not Jeannie's gig. But I also know that gifts and opportunities have come for me in everything I've disliked, you know, and they don't always show up immediately. Sometimes it takes a year for me to see it. So, you know, there's where faith comes in, right? Faith in its complete description is, right, the belief in things not seen, right? So that's the whole thing, is can we believe that the universe is for us, even if the outside experience is telling us something different?
Exactly.
It knows better than our monkey mind.
Truly.
100%. And even thinking about, you know, that little boy and stuff, like, I want the highest and best for him. I don't want what I want for him. I want the highest and best for him. I want what God has, what his journey is. I want that for him and all the people that he'll touch and he'll take, you know, because of his journey, right? It's like, I don't want to I don't want anybody robbing me of my experiences either, because even the bad ones have led me to where I am today. So It's like, I can't, you know, you can't just pick and choose and think I'm going to be this person, right? You know, so when I think about that, or even what if I had gotten to that destination and they were closed? Like, what if that had happened? Maybe that was my highest and best. You know, I just have to think of what you were saying, like, God has my back. God's my invisible partner. And at some point in this journey of my spiritual growth, like, I can tell that the more and more that I work on it, the more and more I go there first. You know, the more and more I'm going to, okay, this may not have worked out that way, but let's just trust. Let's have some faith here that this is for a reason. And sometimes I want to know the reason right now. Like, sometimes I'm like, what's the purpose? Why did this happen? Why am I here? What's happening? Why is this happening to me right now? What am I supposed to get? Can we get it faster? Because I want to move, like, you know, but I'm a little impatient I want to know why. But at the same time, like, just to like breathe and stop and take a breath and let it be what it is. Be in the present
Pretend
moment
it's
and
on
let it be
dial-up.
what it is. Yeah.
You know, versus high Wi-Fi.
I know,
I mean,
right?
I think
Just
about today
relax,
when it comes to the computer stuff and everything. It's like, man, we'll sit around. Come on, let me get on this
Oh, no, they don't
website
even
type of
know
thing.
how bad it
And I
was.
remember dial-up, right? Like you had to wait and listen to that sound.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Right? Everybody knows it.
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
It was
So Reverend Cindy's online and she says, I heard someone say, if you can't get a miracle, be the miracle. I
Oh,
love that.
I love that, Cindy. Thank
Love
you.
that.
Yes.
You know, and
Right.
that is true. It's like, what was I listening to today? I was listening to my positive intelligence stuff today, and it was on being happy. And that to take that 10-second sage time period to smile and to open the door for somebody or smile at the cashier, you know, to be that happiness or be that joy in the world. And I don't know if you guys have seen that I do drive-by blessings on Facebook. What I noticed from this is that I have resting bee face, okay? And so as I'm waiting to go on, so now like when you see it, it'll see me like sitting there smiling, waiting for it to go live, because so many times it's like this. Because I'm trying to figure out where to push the buttons in my face. And I thought, you know, how many times did people maybe look at me and think that I was thinking something not nice about them because this is how my face looks at this point in my life? You know, when I'm not thinking and I'm just sitting there, I have like maybe not a smile. So
That's beautiful too.
well, thank you.
Melanie.
Thank you,
yeah, I was
Melanie.
just gonna say, I'm not
You know,
noticing a bitch.
Sometimes the smile's not appropriate.
That is true. That absolutely is true.
Support from
There you go.
No,
Support
I
for
appreciate
resting
that.
bee face. I think there are some times that I know that people have walked away from me in situations that maybe I thought I was being open and I wasn't. So I think the drive-by blessings has made me more aware that if you want to be available, right? You know, that's part of who I am. I want to be available.
Yes, right.
I want to be available to others and open for others. And there are some times that I'm just not in that space, or I forget because, you know, I'm thinking about lunch or whatever. So, you know, this thing today about being the happiness in the world, being the happiness that and we're just talking 10 seconds,
Yeah.
right? That 10-second thing, I think that let me off the hook of the constant, yes, ma'am, speak loud.
I can do that.
I know you can.
It reminds me of like some is it like it can just come down to a decision. Like in traffic, for example, someone's trying to get in, and the person in front of me is just being a jerk, not letting that person in, and you know I can say, okay, well you drove up there, you should have gotten in line back there. But if I take that moment and say, okay, what would I want, and I let the person in. But I don't do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for me,
Right?
because it reminds me that those little things have ripple effects.
Yes.
Those little things. And so the
And
person
it
can
goes-
drive away mad that they had to force their way into the line, or they can wave, and they better wave, you know, indicating that, you know, they appreciate that. And
Right.
I've had that experience in traffic a number of times where 3 or 4 people are at some incredible impasse, and there's this nonverbal communication and eye contact that happens so that everybody gets where they need to be and makes the turns and does it safely. And it's like, we were all like, yes,
Mhm.
because it's that moment where you
Yes,
connect and you say,
together.
okay, this is about what I want to do and the kind of person I want to be.
Right.
Right.
I
And,
love that.
and you'll see more of that come back at you.
Mhm.
You know, because whatever you throw out there comes back because you're really only doing it to yourself. We're all one, and we talked about, I can't remember who was saying that, but it was like a great reminder. I think it was an Anton, someone was talking about that. Like what I'm doing to this person, I'm doing to me anyway,
Right.
because we're all one, we're all connected. So yes, how would I want to be treated right there? Yes, maybe I did come and cut in, but what am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to get into this line. So let him in, whatever, let him in. You know, because the anger and And look, all that's going to just come back to you.
Right, they're not getting it. Right,
They're-
that's your
it's
body
gonna
that's
come to
absorbing
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and oftentimes tenfold, which I don't need. It's right. I don't need that
I
tenfold.
don't need
Right?
that.
I don't need it. Yeah. So the kindness, be kind. You will just create more of that for your own life, for your own self. So it's kind of selfish, but in a way, it's not really selfish because we're really doing it. We're all one.
We're all one.
So
yeah.
that's not really a word. You know what I mean?
And you know what I've noticed too with that is how when you operate from that part, you start to shake off, and I love this, the energy vampires, right? I saw a meme recently that said, every time you're kind, an energy vampire loses a fang. I was like, I love that. It really is one of those things where that if we embody that to be who we want to be in the world, just because we want it for ourselves, not about anybody else, then that goes forward. That kindness goes forward.
Yeah.
It's not a codependent thing. It's a interdependent thing, where we are each other's, we're walking each other home.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yes.
I want to be available to do that.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's really boils down to anyway, So having the faith that we all know what we're all doing inside here. But yeah, I love that. I love the thinking of like that. What would I want? And if I was that person, what would I want?
Well, it's golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you.
Right. And it's all because we're doing it to ourselves, right? It was all this like way to trick us to like understand.
Trick us, yeah.
That you're doing it for yourself.
The universe is like, how can we get them? I
understand-
know.
To like, just to
But
flip
it's
it around.
it's awesome that you said about the golden rule, because like all philosophies, all religions have something similar
Right.
that says, treat people like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
They have it some way, some shape, some form that's out there. And there's so many times I think that we forget that, right? And again, when I get on autopilot because I have things to do, I'm a list person and I always have a list going, right? There's always things that have to happen, right? Very few times. I got to sleep in yesterday.
What?
I know, it was amazing.
Wow.
And then I immediately got up and did my list, so sometimes I'm on that path and I have my blinders on because I got stuff I got to do. And somebody's like, hey, Jeannie. And I'm like, and I think my work really is being available even when I have my blinders on. I think I have what I've recently noticed for myself is that I have missed opportunities of connection with people because of those blinders. And when we were at Anton, because I didn't have a list, right? Because I had no list. I was on retreat vacation.
Yes.
And I found that availability. And I met so many amazing people.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from across the United States that are doing awesome work.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, this is, so I don't want to miss those people in my everyday life because I'm, got my blinders on. So I think, I don't even know where that came from. That just popped out there,
So someone must have needed it.
I guess,
Someone
or
must
I
have needed
needed it. That's, that definitely is something that I want to remember because that's that's how I see myself. Do you ever see yourself some way and then somebody tells you how they see you and you're like, wow, really? Okay. Good and bad. Good and bad, right? I've had both happen where,
Especially when I'm being hard on myself.
yeah.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's especially when you're being hard on yourself, or if you think you've totally screwed something up, or you did something and you were so nervous about it, you had no clue if it came out okay. And then somebody says, oh my gosh, that was amazing. You're amazing and stuff. And you're like, what? Whatever. Yeah. You know, I think that's a hard one too. I think that's work too, to learn to receive.
To receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be able to receive that. Just say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Don't like try to push it back.
Yeah. So that's something else you learned in P3 classes with Reverend Dr. Michelle is there are
The
time
other one.
periods. The other
Yeah,
Reverend
like-
Dr. Reverend
Me,
Dr.
not me.
Michelle Whittington.
Yes.
Yes, Nadi Zugu. You know, you learn to receive, and you're not even allowed to like say anything, right? You're just sitting there as people tell you these appreciations about yourself, and like it's a hard thing at first. It is really like a hard thing at first to hear. I appreciate you for your strength, your kindness, your beauty, your ability to be vulnerable, whatever they give you. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you got all these gifts here and you're like, okay, you know, and then as you go on, you're like, yes, I can receive that. I am that. You know, it's a big shift.
Yeah, because a lot of us are really good at giving, but we don't like receiving, which is weird because then how do other people, how can they be givers if none of us let anybody, none of us receive, right? And that was the first time I think I really got that when somebody probably was for Dr. Michelle Whittington probably was the one that said that you have to be a receiver too so that someone else can be the giver. Or you're kind of being selfish. You're never letting someone else have that feeling and have those moments. And then I started recognizing that I certainly don't, like, even if I got a compliment, I'll throw it right back. So I don't even say thank you. I'm right back. Oh, but I love your dress, or I'm like, I'm not even nothing. No recognition. I've already tossed it back over, you know? So it's like, just to be able to say thank you and fight yourself to throw something back out, just to let it rest for a minute, you know, is a big, it's a big practice. But when you start to do that and start to recognize that, you start, if you have a block with receiving or you don't know why you're not receiving, that's probably why. And then you start just practicing in those little moments. Next thing you know, more starts to come to you because now you're open to receive. Whereas before you were like this, no, or I'm throwing it back. Whatever you said, I'm going to throw it back. So, yeah, it's
hard to receive abundance if all you're doing every time you get something is go, you know.
Yeah. Because the way you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
So if you're blocking compliments, you're also blocking abundance, joy, love, everything else. You're just blocking.
Say that again. The way you do one thing
is how you do everything. It's how you do everything. So you don't have to change everything. Just change one thing and it will change everything. So it's not as overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. Like, no, just one. Just find one. So the simplest thing, if you already know that you're someone that can't take a compliment, right? If that's already your thing, now just practice that one thing. Just notice that one thing. Every time you get one, just go, wow, thank you. And fight the urge to throw it back or to like, oh no, it was nothing. That kind of,
this whole thing.
Oh, like stop it. No. Just, wow, thank you.
I will say, and it has pockets when it has pockets.
There you go.
When people compliment one of my caftans and it has pockets.
As long as it's not a deflective, but it has pockets. As long as it's
not a deflective. It's
And
like,
it has
let me tell you how cool it really is.
Yeah. Only you know what that energy is.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Because you can also be sly and still deflect with it has pockets.
That's true.
Like, I'm taking it off of me and then we're going to look at the pockets.
Yeah.
Or is it what you're saying? Like, I know, isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
And it has pockets.
This one does not. But
Yeah.
then
That's more for me. But it is. And so you know your energy. You know how you're doing that. You know how you're showing up. You know what you're relying on, right? You know if you're recognizing that God is your invisible partner as you're moving through your life, as you're moving through your day, as things are happening, but you need those self-checks. You got to check in, see where you're at. And you don't have to check in with everything. Like, we're not trying to overwhelm anybody, but just those little things, just pick one thing, work on that one thing, and you'll see it. You'll see a change. Affect everywhere.
There's that ripple effect.
So cool how that works. Yeah. and you'll create more of what you want to be creating,
Yes.
which is our goal.
Yes.
More of what
Create-
we love.
Create a life you love.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. So this was the last week of October.
Already, like
so
what is happening?
we go into November, and the end of November marks 2 years for Sofa Sundays.
Oh my goodness! 2 years!
which is a pretty amazing
crazy.
thing for us, and it's so
If
exciting.
you think about the very first one, where we were like, what are we doing?
Yeah, we have no
What
idea.
did we get ourselves
Yeah.
into? Like,
You
you
and-
invited who? Oh my gosh! I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it.
Well, and we still have that when Reverend Dr. Michelle
Oh,
Whittington shows up and sits in the
Now,
audience.
if
She's on the
if
sofa.
I
I'm
know
okay.
she's coming, or if she's up here, I'm okay.
Right, but if I don't
But if
know,
I
and
look
she's
out and
sitting
she
there,
comes walking in, I'm like,
I'm like, okay, did
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember? So there
I
are
can't
those
even
moments.
pray.
I don't
I
even
can't
know what I'm
pray
doing.
suddenly. Like I can't do anything because my head the whole time is like, what's Michelle thinking? What's Michelle thinking? Is she looking at me?
Right.
Right? The whole time.
I think we're getting better now.
And
you
she
know.
does. She's so cute because she will do this. I can't even do it. But she will. She sits there so proper. She's so sweet. And then she's like this.
You look just like her.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We should do her next year.
Oh, we should. But while I'm talking, if I look over and she's just staring at me, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I think I said that all wrong. Jeannie, save me. I think I said that all wrong.
Oh yeah, and I'm so good with words.
Oh my gosh.
She's thinking about lunch.
Yeah, see?
I mean, probably. She's probably like zoned
That's what I'm
off somewhere
saying.
else.
When
like,
people have that resting bee face,
I
they're
know.
usually
well, hers
thinking
isn't
about
even a
lunch.
bee face. Hers is like she has that little smile that she just sits with that little smile.
You're right, probably because she knows not to
Yeah, she's
let
like
it.
she's practiced.
Yeah, drop down there. I hope she doesn't watch this one.
She makes me nervous still.
That's so cute.
Does.
Would crack her
That's so cute.
I know.
I know. It would, right, for sure. So going into November, one of the other things going into
What's our theme
November,
for November?
I
I forget.
don't remember.
Dang
We did
it.
that 2 months ago.
What is it? Oh,
I don't know.
I forgot.
But while you're finding it, I'm going to talk
What is
about.
it? Please
this
talk
one.
about this. I'm so excited
So,
for you to
um,
do this.
I wrote a class a couple of years ago called Humor, Hugs, Hope, and Hummus.
And she's bringing it right here to the
And
sofa.
I'm bringing
people.
it to the sofa. So we're going to do this in November for the first 3 weeks in November, and then the first week of December.
Are you
'cause
confusing us now?
I am.
I'm
It's
confused.
4 weeks. The last class will be the first week of December because I'm in
Okay.
Prescott speaking.
All right, all
Than the
right.
end of. But Michelle made these for me. Aren't they beautiful? Look, we're so
True and
professional.
I did.
True. Thank you, honey. So,
So much easier with
yes,
somebody
this is-
helping you make this. So much
these
easier
are-
than doing it by yourself.
So we'll be doing the class from 12:30 to 2:30 after Sofa Sundays on Sunday. I do apologize for those online. This is an in-person class for 2 reasons.
You're gonna have to come here.
Hugs and hummus.
I mean,
Okay,
I
like-
mean, come on.
I could have faked the hugs, but I'm not
It
faking the
starts
hummus.
second?
Yes, it starts
The third.
or whatever
It's the third.
whatever's next Sunday is. It starts next Sunday.
I'll be in Texas.
Okay, so
there
you're-
better not be hummus next week.
There will be hummus every week.
Okay, good.
So there'll be hummus every week. You'll miss humor, but You'll be back for hugs.
She's got humor.
it's and I had such a great time creating the class, and the first time I did the class, it was an amazing thing, and I was going to do it a second time, and then 2020 hit, and we couldn't have in-person stuff,
And
and
if you can't have
again,
it in person, it doesn't
right,
work because
it
of
just
hugs and hummus.
it really doesn't work without the hugs and hummus, and so I have people signed up. If you are
If
attending,
you want a book, you need to sign up.
you need to sign up because this takes a little bit. So you need to sign up. You can do that online at www.beginwithinministries.com and then look for Humor, Hope, Hugs, and Hummus.
Free for our partners.
I clicked on the button and it said the page no longer exists.
Okay, so what I recommend is if you put it in the Google thing and do it that way, the search engine, we pop up. I still don't know why the .com doesn't send you over.
We don't know either. So
Yeah,
you have to go
so-
and begin with the ministries.
Yeah. So put it in, thank you for that. Put it in your search engine in the Google search engine versus the top part to take you there. So, and I
If you
will,
have trouble, then let us know. We'll
Yeah.
help you.
Cash. Huh? Did you clear your cache? Did you change your website?
this is my tech person.
No, we haven't changed anything. It just was
It
those
isn't,
are working and
it's, yeah,
so, but they fixed what they could. It's just so.
yeah.
Um,
But I will also post the link inside of the Facebook group. So if you will
and it's
be
free if you're a
registering-
partner. So
Yes.
if you are a partner, you pay the monthly partnership fees and it's free. Or you said it was what
It's
was
$95.
95. Now, a monthly membership is,
It's 45
partnership is 45
for a
so-
single person. So you would save.
So become a partner. Get your mug.
Yeah.
Get your mug and your little.
Becoming a partner is cheaper by $5 and you get a coffee.
I know, and you'll like it.
And you'll like it.
Because you get to be part of this community. Next month is all about love thy neighbor. We decided to talk
Love.
about neighbor.
Oh,
our neighbors.
yes.
This is some good
Because this
stuff
is
right
probably
here.
something that the entire world is going to need in
November.
So remember to love your neighbor.
And remember,
Regardless.
highest and best. We just have to trust
We have to trust
that
the
God
highest and
has
best.
our back and whatever's.
And
back
you know
whatever's
what?
going.
And I do truly believe that regardless of the outcome of 8 days from now,
Yes.
that the universe has our back.
And we may not understand.
And we may not
we may not be able to
understand.
see it or understand it.
Yes.
Whatever way you are, like
No, we're gonna love it.
as
Whichever
some way we
way
just
it
have to
goes.
love each other through it, though.
Yes,
And not
exactly.
divide us. We have to
And
love
not
each
divide
other
us
through it and not
anymore.
divide us. I'm tired of that.
Exactly.
I'm tired of the. If you feel this way, then unfriend me now. Like, what are you saying? Like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about?
So
stop doing that.
with that, I want to invite you to another thing, and I'll post this inside the group too.
What?
New Vision Center has been doing for the last couple of months on the first Saturday morning at 9. We do peace, prayer, politics, or it's said that way in some form. But it's a group. We get together, we share, we pray. There's usually a meditation. There's some way of, and there's definitely breakup in groups and meditations and communication, but all about sharing and loving your neighbor in peace. And I will say that both sides of the aisle participate. This is not about the political issues. This is not about the political candidates. This is about the political issues and how we feel about it and sharing that with each other in a
I love
loving,
it.
safe space. So
We have
that's
to talk
New
about
Vision
it.
Center.
We
We
have to
do.
go talk about it.
We do. So that's at New
I
Vision
love that.
Center, 9:00 Saturday. So it's the last one before the election. So I'll make sure that I share that as well.
So I need to share something really cool, though.
Oh, yes. Please do.
I'm a great aunt again.
Yay! Congratulations,
I
Cosette.
know. We love you, Cosette. So excited. Cyber was born last night. 8 pounds, 9 ounces.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Big boy. Oh, yeah, big boy. Right on time.
Oh,
Right
good.
on
She
time.
doesn't have to throw him back.
No, she never
He's
throw
good
back.
size.
Yes, he's good. Yeah. Yeah. So we're very happy in our family. And
Nice.
so congratulations, Cozy and Ryan. With
Yes.
Cyber. He's so yummy. I can't wait to see that little baby.
Awesome.
I'm going to give him kisses.
Nice.
Let's snuggle.
All right,
Yes.
my dears. Do you want to pray us out?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. You know, we're going to take some deep breath. Let's just whew. Come into this moment. Recognizing one power, one presence, one life, only one. There's only one thing. We call it God, we call it spirit, we call it divine presence. It is all there is. And it moves in as and through each one of us. We are each a unique, perfect manifestation of the divine. And as that is our truth, from that truth, I speak my word into the law, knowing that as I do, I set the law of God in motion for the highest and best for everyone here, everyone hearing the sound of my voice and beyond. knowing that as each of us rests in that truth, as we move from that place, we are all divinely guided. We are blessed. We are receiving what is ours to receive. We are moving with confidence, with love, with grace, with faith, knowing that God is our invisible partner through everything. No matter what it is, we are never alone. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm grateful for this knowing. I'm grateful for this truth. So I let it go. And together we sang. And
So it is. Thank you.
Welcome.
Ah,
Well, another one for the books.
there you go.
Another one in the books.
So aside from becoming a partner.
Well, thanks for asking, ladies.
I love having our.
I know. I
We
love.
have such a good audience crew here.
Yes. How they can support us.
Well, it's very simple. You can support us by becoming a partner. And when you become a partner, you get to have, we've talked about this before, wonderful classes. You get to be part of this amazing community. You get, when you come in person, you get hugs. You don't just have to go to the classes
That's
for hugs.
true.
You get them anyway. You get our mug, and you just get to help us build this community by being our partner. And that's just,
And you get a name tag
you
too.
get a name tag too.
And you get a little charm.
Picture and a charm, or Sofa's charm. I know, it's so cool. It's cool to be
Yeah.
a partner. And that's just, and if you go to our website, you can do that by paying $45 a month for an individual or $75 for a couple or a family. But you can also just, if that's not for you right now, just a donation helps, liking our feeds help, sharing it, inviting visitors, just getting the word out that we
Right.
exist and that this is what we're doing to help everyone, including ourselves, create a life we love.
And we especially appreciate on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe.
Oh, subscribe.
Help us to be bigger on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Yes.
Right, because then that's how those algorithms work. They go,
Mhm.
oh, something's going on here, so then they share it also. And that's what we want. We want them to share us as well.
Yes. And you can join us on our Facebook page. We are a group on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, look for Sofa Sundays.
And that's where you'll see everything in there. So we do house the live feeds. We publish them there. Also, like things like her class, anything that we have going on, it's all that information's there. Plus, she does her drive-by blessings every day now on the feed, which is fun if you don't.
Well,
or
that's
the blessings. Just
right.
the
I
blessings.
do drive-by blessings on my personal feed, but my personal feed is public. So
Why don't we send that over to the Sofa too?
because I don't know how to do those
I
things.
help you. I help her.
But we
And-
appreciate you being
Yes,
here.
yes. Thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you next
Next
when
week
we
in
start the new
November.
theme.
Yay!
right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network. Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.